Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for tuning in today. This is my question and answer video, part 2, where I'm answering people's questions from last week. If you missed part 1, please go back and watch it. I got a whole spiel I go through and all that stuff. I don't really need to. I don't know why anybody would just watch part 2. But yeah, watch part 1 if you can. I do this every single week. I'm answering people's questions about emotional trauma and abusive relationships, discovering yourself, things like this. From last week. Any questions you guys have, please go down below and ask me so I can answer them for you, and you come back next Monday and watch it for your answer. Thank you very much. I recommend things every week in part 1 too. If you are interested, go to part 1 and see that. Thank you. So let's get started right away with the questions. The first one's from Annie Mac, or Mac Annie. Ann? I think it's Ann. Just tell us your locations, guys. Really, I really want locations. Sometimes I get people saying, I don't want to. It's like, my God, man. Planet Earth? Is your ex going to find you if they know you're on planet Earth? You know? Can we get maybe even a hemisphere? East or west, north or south? Maybe a continent? Europe? Seriously. Participate. I get so many people that ask me questions and they don't even subscribe to my channel. They're like, oh, I love your work, been with you for 2 years. And I go, look, and they're not even subscribed to me. It's like, damn, can I get a thumbs up or something? It's not an ego thing. This isn't for me. I hope you guys know that. I don't even monetize my videos anymore. I want people to understand and realize I'm not trying to sell stuff. I really want help out there for people. And when I did this several years ago, when I went through this, there was no help. And I know there's other people making videos. That's great. Doesn't mean there can't be more. You know, I wouldn't mind 100 more YouTube creators come forward and start making channels about narcissism. Great. We need it to be talked about, discussed. I want people to care, and I want help available for people, or at least direction for people that need help, you know? So if you could, when you subscribe to my channel or give me a thumbs up or post this stuff, at least the work I'm doing will be seen more. I hope, you know? So thank you. Tell me where you guys are from. So Anne asks, can undiagnosed dyslexia in childhood lead on to aggression, meltdowns, and personality disorders in adulthood? And I just want, thank you for asking, Anne, but I just want to say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not in any way, shape, or form able to answer a question, a medical question like this. I'm really not, about dyslexia. And I just don't know much about dyslexia. I'd be sitting here just guessing. And I appreciate that you value my opinion to ask me. So I would say I imagine dyslexia would cause maybe aggressive meltdowns. I mean, that's got to be frustrating. But I just want to say, and I'm not giving an answer, yes or no, if it can, you asked if it can lead to personality disorders in adulthood. And I just want to, maybe this will help. Personality disorders are developed in childhood, typically, most of them, if not all. The cluster B are narcissistic, histrionic, antisocial, and borderline. These are developed in childhood, and you need a lot more. There's many factors, and it's not typically just one little thing or something like dyslexia. These things are, it's about massive neglect, You have to really understand what emotional neglect is to understand what that means and how it can cause personality disorders. But it's a real irresponsibility in the parents. And there's 3 different factors that make up who people are in the first place. And that's genetics, right? Who the second we're born, who we came from, our genetic makeup. And then culture decides a lot about who we are, doesn't it? You know, most people are the religion that state is that you're born in. You become that religion. It really makes a factor of who you are. And then your upbringing, your parents, the attention or lack of that they gave you or didn't give you. That's what makes up personality disorders. I've never heard dyslexia playing a part in that. Hope that helps. I just can't answer. It's like legal questions, you know, about courts and stuff. I'm not really going to try because I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to get in trouble either. But thanks for asking me questions. Keep asking more questions and find your answer to that. Good luck. Tangle Twister from Essex, England. Hello. I've recently ended a 3-year roller coaster relationship with a borderline. She has now fallen apart and keeps hoovering me. But I am not replying to her attempts. Does this cause her to have low self-esteem and low self-worth? My head's a mess. I feel like crap and I feel guilty about making her feel worse. She is a human being after all, and of course she is. She's a human being. And all that matters is us and how we feel, so it matters how we treat people, doesn't it? It doesn't matter if we think that person's a bad person. We don't treat people badly, right? I agree. We also don't treat ourselves badly. We're human beings, so we have to be good to us. But actually the way it works is we've got to be first. We've got to put ourselves first. And you put yourself first, and everybody else puts themselves first. So we take care of ourselves first. You don't have to like it. It doesn't matter what my opinion is of it. That's just the way it works. Okay? So if you're not sure what to do, put yourself first and ask yourself what you want. Sounds like what you want, it's not have anything to do with her, but it sounds like you feel like you have to. You don't have to do a single thing. You don't have to do anything. You feel like crap. Stop doing it. You said, I feel guilty about making her feel worse. If she doesn't like you taking care of yourself, there's a problem, isn't there? And that's not your problem. This is a lot of codependency. It's like separating two dogs. You got to get the hose out and get apart, right? Because they just keep wanting to go right back together. They just want to keep going. And you're like, no, stop it. And you're like, yeah, but I'm responsible for how she feels. And she's like, yeah, he is. He better do this because I feel this way. No. You take care of you, she takes care of her. And that's even the same in a damn relationship, but you're not even in one, okay? She needs to take care of herself, and anything you do for her is enabling her to not take care of herself. I hope that makes sense. And anything you do for her is not taking care of yourself because you don't want to anymore. You're done with her. This is over. Go your own ways. Separate. And stay apart. Go. Get away from each other. Does this cause her to have low self-esteem and low self-worth? What other people do shouldn't affect that. Okay? I know it does. I know that somebody can, hurt someone bad enough, it doesn't matter who they are, and it starts affecting it. Yeah, I get that. But if you do nothing, and that causes her low self-worth, you're not doing anything. You're not talking to her. It's over. You're done. And her feelings are doing all this, and you need to take care of it. No, she needs to take care of that. She's responsible for how she feels. My God. You're basically saying she can't do anything for herself, so I'm afraid to leave her alone. That's it, man. She's not your kid. She's not your kid. She's not your child. She's someone else's child. Well, I don't think she's a child anymore, right? She's an adult. She needs to learn to take care of herself, and she can never learn to take care of herself as long as someone's doing it for her. Anything you do for her is not helping her. It's hurting her. I promise. The best way to help her is to never talk to her again. And it just so happens to be the best thing for you. Good luck. Thanks. KM from AZ. Hello. I agree we should be placing value on people's... Man, I can't read my own writing, and it's embarrassing. I agree. We should be placing value on people's emotional beauty, not their inner, right? That's what KM is saying. I agree that we should be placing value on people's inner and emotional beauty. Big time. What is your opinion regarding, is there an appropriate age gap when dating? No, well, to be honest, man, I honestly, really, I don't. I don't have any opinion on what people do together. I just don't. I don't care about your sexuality. I don't care about any weird games you play. I don't care about how old each other are. I don't care if you're the same sex. I don't care. I don't care. It just doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. If two people agree, unless it's a minor, right? And I hope I'm very clear on that. We're not talking about children. We're talking about adults only. I don't care about the age gap. I've heard of all kinds of crazy age gaps, and I've seen it work. I'll tell you this. I read a study recently. It's one of the recent studies on this topic, and it was real cut and dry and pretty interesting. And it's this. Men and women are different, but we both like different ages. So it's actually not very common to date the same age for either sex. And what the study showed is that men typically want much younger women at a specific age, very young, very young. And women typically just want a man older than them, not a specific age. I hope that makes sense. So the study showed that men in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s can be attracted to about the same age, a very young girl, very young woman. And then women just want men, could be 10 years older or something, you know, just pretty older. And so I found that interesting. And a lot of it's attributed to that women emotionally mature faster, right? That's the saying that girls mature faster than boys. That's why girls get annoyed with the boys in their school and their age group. They get kind of annoyed with them. They're annoying, they're silly, they're stupid, they're immature. And then the boys typically get intimidated and scared of girls because they're just so much more mature than them. That's typically the deal. But yeah, I think women just altogether are just more mature than men. Not just they mature faster. I think they're just more mature. Some of my best friends are older than myself, and so they're all mature, but they're so much more mature than the men I know that are older than me, if that makes sense. 60-year-old women are more mature than any other men I've ever known. 50-year-old women too. They're more mature than any man I've ever met. So I think it's not what we might think, physical, where maybe men are more physical, women are more emotional. Men tend to be more external, women more internal. Men place maybe more importance on what a female looks like, and women place more importance on what a person is inside, and that's just straight maturity levels. Women are more mature. Women typically want more mature men. Good luck. Much older. You see what I mean? And men want less mature women. They can find it challenging. So they want a little girl until that little girl doesn't do what they need, doesn't supply or help them supply emotional needs. Confusing. But that's what the study shows. So I thought I'd bring that up. Pretty interesting. My personal opinion, I could care less about what two people do. I'm serious. I don't care about any of the stuff that's such a big social issue. My God, the importance we put on what two people agree and do to each other together behind closed doors. My God, who cares? Why do we care? Why? do we feel so threatened? People's sexuality just gets so threatened, you know? I mean, if you try to look at, instead of being so black and white, like you're either totally racist or you're not at all. You're total sexist or you're not at all. You're totally this or not. It's not like that. It's all spectrum, right? So people deal with their own sexuality in such weird ways when it comes to other people. They think it has to deal with them and it doesn't. Anyways, that's enough of that. I hope that helps. I don't know if it does. If it doesn't, please keep asking. Thank you. That blonde artist in California. Hello. Is there a difference between an empath versus a regular person with little emotional boundaries? Interesting question, making me think. And that's kind of hard to answer directly. So vaguely, I will say you're on the right, in my opinion, you're on the right track. I think an empath, and I've said this millions of times, I would consider myself an empath under what empaths say that an empath is, which is, a little bit more hyper empathetic, right? I pick up on what people's feelings are, but what I think it is, it's you're absorbing what they feel, and you're really keen on it. Your parents taught you to do that to them, so you're doing it to everybody, and you're taking this kind of emotional responsibility. The best way to put it is when somebody comes up and tells you, and they're so emotional, oh, I'm going through such hard times. Now, I know that it's upsetting for anyone, but it shouldn't be overwhelming. It shouldn't be, oh my God, I'm going through that. Or, I know how they feel because I can feel it. Imagine helping people all day and you felt like that. You wouldn't be able to do it. So I've learned to cut that off. I've learned to say, those are not my feelings. Those are not my problems. And just telling them I'm sorry is good enough. I don't have to feel bad along with them. Or we say for them. We don't have to feel bad for people. You don't have to. I'm just saying you don't have to. It helps. I do this all day. I can't be on everyone's emotional level all day. Or I would not be able to do what I do. I cannot do that, obviously, right? I wouldn't be able to do it just one person a day. I wouldn't be able to do it. So how do I talk to several people a day and get through it? And then when I'm done, I'm done. Right? It doesn't wear me out at the end of the day. Because I don't have to feel what everyone's feeling. It's bad. It's too bad. It's awful. It is. But I've learned that those aren't my feelings. Those are theirs. That's their body doing stuff, not mine. And people are going to be okay. And it's not my responsibility. I can accept, when people come up and tell you, especially like your friends come up and bounce things off you. Oh man, my dad was such a jerk today. You don't have to have a solution all the time. I hope that helps, right? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Second someone starts telling you, you start going, oh God, how do I fix this? Maybe I'm going to tell them they should do this and do that. You don't have to do that. My God, are they paying you or something? And even if they're paying me, I get people that pay me and I can't help you. I'm sorry. I don't know how. Here's your money back. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. So the answer to your question is kind of little emotional boundaries. I like that. That's on the right track. Kevin from South Africa, hello. And I think it's Kavin, so I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Kevin, correct me please, and I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Is it wrong to say no to my parents? Absolutely. Don't you ever say no to your mom and dad. Never. If they say jump, don't even ask how high. You just jump. Okay? Yeah, man. That's you always. Yeah, you never say no to mom and dad. Next is from, I'm kidding. Is it wrong to say no to my parents? Man, are we taught that that's wrong, aren't we? Remember the terrible twos? Yeah, you know what terrible twos are? The terrible no's. Right? It's like the first word a lot of children learn is no. No. We start saying that at 2. No, 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 all the time. And man, we get in trouble. Big problem, huh? I understand. Is it wrong to say no to your parents? You know it's wrong for you to ask that. I mean, I'm glad you're asking, but it's sad. I'm guessing, and a lot of that is culture. I'm guessing down in South Africa might be pretty strict. I've had clients in South Africa that kind of are like that. Their parents are really strict. You can't say no to your parents. I was brought up in the South. A large portion of my childhood was down in the South. And down there, man, respect, manners, discipline, all this stuff is huge, huge. I mean, if someone in my family called my name, I say, I'm coming, I'm coming. Yes, mother. Yes, grandfather. I mean, or it's massive trouble. We're adults now, and we are our own autonomous person with our own wants and desires and morals and values and needs and all this stuff. And we say no when we need to. And it's up to this and not to anybody else. Not up to me, not up to your mom or dad, period. It's up to you. You keep saying no. You said, I'm afraid because I made a mistake and told my mother I want to get a job because I want to live my own life. My mother lost it and told me I'm selfish and I can't get a job because nobody will hire me. Wow. What's wrong with you? Nobody will hire you. My God. In Mexico, even the disabled work. I went to Mexico last time I flew there. If you go in the airports of major cities, Mexico City, Guadalajara, if you go in there, you'll see citizens in wheelchairs working in the airport. It's wonderful. I love it. So good. Instead of just giving someone money and just no life. They just sit at people disabled so often just fall into depression. They'll get what they need sent to them and they just sit at home or whatever. God, at least they're outside and being productive and stuff. They must feel better. But I'm saying even someone with no arms and no legs can get a job in Mexico. Why can't you? Because your mom has a massive fear of abandonment. Your mom is a huge codependent. You can tell her I said that. Or she can just say, good, Kevin, do whatever you want. Oh, and I missed this part. I'm 35 years old. And you don't know that it's okay to say no to your mom. And your mom tells you that you're selfish and fucks with your head and gaslights you and abuses you and says you can't get a job, nobody will hire you. She's not thinking. She doesn't have empathy right now. I don't know if she ever does, but her lack of awareness is so poor, she doesn't realize she's exposing her own fears, her own fear of abandonment. That's what she's doing. She's just afraid of you leaving her, and that's why you haven't. She's done everything she can to make sure you don't leave the house at 35. Parents I've said this a million times, parents support us or they sabotage us. Which one has she done for you? Support you? 35. Run out of that house and never look back. Be good for both of you. Thank you. Joa from Belgium, hello. Thanks for your answer. You're welcome. You said you were in a 10-year relationship with a narcissist. How did you do? Now, Joa's from Belgium, so some of this was a little hard for me to understand, Joa, and I might have this wrong, so please ask me again. I know you're asking me about my personal relationship that I had, but I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, and I wrote that to you, so please ask me again this week, but I'm going to try. You said, how did you do to support a narcissist all the time? And that's one part I didn't understand. And you said, there's no communication, they are cheaters, and they make silent treatment. And so I think you're asking me, how did I do it? How did I put up with someone for 10 years? Because of all the crap you went through, impossible to go through for 10 years. How did I go through it for 10 years? I think that's what you're asking me. And then you said You said, my devaluation came quickly because I wasn't all right with that. How did you do it? So you're saying that relationship ended because you wouldn't accept it. But it only ended because they devalued you. I think. You said, my devaluation came quickly because I wasn't all right with that. So I don't know how, actually, I don't know how your relationship ended. If they ended it or if you did. Maybe you ended it. But let me say, and I'll tell you why. First, that all of these experiences are different, guys. No, there's no two that are the same. It's impossible. It's like fingerprints, okay? You have the three parts that make up who you are. So we all have different brains. We're all born in different areas of the world. We all have different parents. And even if you're in the same family, siblings, still totally different. You have different brains. I don't care if it's from the same genetics. It's still different brains. And parents treat two siblings totally different. And those two siblings go to different classes and have different friends and do different things and make different choices. So no two experiences are the same. Yours was impossible while somebody else could keep going. Yours maybe was more disgustingly abusive and toxic than mine was, right? Maybe yours sat there and hit you in the head all day when mine was pretty sweet and only hit me in the head twice in 10 years. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying someone hit you in the head. I'm just saying if yours is that much worse, yeah, maybe mine wasn't. But what it comes down to is the same reason we're all in them. Is my self-worth was low and this kind of crap was somewhat normal. Something was normal about it. We talk about red flags. Wasn't enough. Wasn't good. I saw that. That sucks. Didn't make me freak out. Or I freaked out, but I don't care about my feelings. I push them aside. I numb them. I'm not significant. I'm not worthy enough to do something about it. My self-worth is so low. I hate myself. I'll date somebody else that's a total loser. I mean, there's just so much. I may have had fear of abandonment, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you had fear of rejection. Maybe I had, you see, I mean, there's just so many factors. So many. So I could tell you what the person did to me in my relationship. I could tell you what happened to me in my childhood. I could tell you, I mean, just so many factors. So many. I know people that have endured 30, 40 relationships, or 30 to 40 years in relationships 10 times worse than mine. I don't know how they did it. My God. Just like you look at mine and go, how did you do 10 years? Maybe I'd look at yours and say, how did you do one day? I already know how. I already know why. It's not about the other person. It's about us. It's about us. And you can say mine did this or mine didn't do that. But the real problem is that you opened your life up and you shared it with someone sick. And they were sick before you met them. Why? Why did that happen? You didn't know. You didn't know they were sick. Why not? You didn't take the time to find out. Or you did kind of see things that were sick, but so was my mom. You see that? Trust me. Oh, that makes sense. That's everything, guys. I'm all done. Thank you so much. Great questions. Great questions. You guys have been giving me great feedback. I really appreciate all the thank yous and all the support and the very nice words that you're telling to me and other people down in the comment section. It's really, really nice. And thank you for supporting me like I asked. You guys are subscribing to the channel and voting up or down and giving me comments and feedback and asking questions and sharing this at other places. I've seen you guys do that. Thank you so much. I thank you, and anybody this stuff helps thanks you. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you next week, okay? Take care. Bye.